Welcome into another video, and we have a very fun one in store today. We are officially only 25 days away from night one of the NFL draft. Over the next couple weeks, I'm going to be going by position group and giving you my top 10 players at each position group. Probably only going to do 5 quarterbacks. It's not a very deep quarterback class. I don't know if I really want to sit there and watch a lot of bad quarterback film, but maybe we'll extend it to 10 if I start finding a few sleeper guys that I like. So today we are going to be starting off with probably one of the deeper positions in this draft class, and that is the running backs. Probably one of the more deep running back classes in a very long time. I sit here and I think about last year, Jonathan Brooks probably being the number one guy. I would say that there's probably 6 guys on my list who I would probably take over Jonathan Brooks last year. That's how loaded this class is. It's no joke. A lot of talent, very deep. I don't really know how to address a strategy for teams because of how deep this class is. You could wait until the 3rd round and find very good value at running back in the 3rd round, or you could spend a 1st-round pick on one of these guys because that's how good they are, Hampton, Jainty. So let's get right into the top 10 then. We're going to kick it off with number 10 out of Kansas, and that is Devin Neal. Comes in at 5'11", 213 with a 4.5 40 time. Average draft position is 96.2, putting him into that late 3rd, early 4th round. Most drafted by the Vikings, Chiefs, and Browns per Pro Football Focus. Had a very consistent career at Kansas, and in 2024, he rushed for 1,266 yards on 219 attempts and 16 touchdowns. Devin Neal is one of the more sound runners in this entire draft class. He stays with his blockers very well, stays on the block path, on the run path very well. He doesn't really make a whole lot of unnecessary movements. He stays true to getting the yards that he possibly can. He's not really going sideways a lot. He's just pure, straightforward guy. Not afraid of contact in any way, shape, or form. He finishes strong through the run. He's got really good ball security. He's got the intangibles as well to become a 3-down back. He showed promise in the receiving game. He's not afraid to block. He's got good NFL size. I mean, the only thing's kind of really holding him back here, I think he has, average shiftiness. He's not really the best in open field. He's not a great athlete. I mean, he's got a 4.58 40. He's not a breakaway back by any means, and his production was solid. It was solid production, but it wasn't blow you away production in a big conference. I think taking Devin Neal in the 4th round is going to be very well for some teams. I think he's got the chance to become, a really good 3-down backup, and then he can eventually work his way potentially into a starting position for some NFL teams. Number 9, we have running back out of SMU, and this one may come as a surprise to people, but I'm going with Brashard Smith. Comes in at 5'10", 194, 40 time, 4.39. So the speed's off the charts. Average draft position of 139.7. So reaching that mid to late 4th round pick. Most drafted by the Vikings, Patriots, and 49ers. In 2024, he had 235 attempts for 1,332 yards, 14 touchdowns. First team All ACC. And then he was a 3-year Miami wide receiver player who transferred to SMU and played running back. I understand. It seems very unconventional to put a 3-year wide receiver transfer from Miami turned running back at my number 9 in my top 10 running back spot. But that's how impressive Brashard Smith's season was at SMU. If you just look at him, he doesn't really fit the bill of a natural running back. Like, he just doesn't look like a running back in the backfield. But it is impressive how well, for only being a 1-year running back, how well he plays the position. Brashard Smith only comes in at 194. He is the smallest back on my top 10 list, but he plays like he's 220. He bounces off contact, no problem. And it's mesmerizing because he's not really an aggressor. He's not searching for contact, but when it's found, he handles it very well. He bounces right off these guys. He's got some of the best cuts and spin moves in the game, and that shiftiness is what helps him get through his interior running lanes very well. Because as a 1-year running back, after playing wide receiver for 3 years, his vision and his patience isn't the greatest. He doesn't really let his blocks develop, but he's so shifty and so fast that it hasn't really looked like a concern. You could see it off the snap, that he's just going, but he's not always hitting the perfect hole or the right hole. He's not always letting the play develop, but he's so shifty and so quick that it's not a problem for him. And the fact that he played 3 years of wide receiver is really a plus for me. You can line this guy up in the slot. He can run routes, catch the ball very well. He's got great hands. His size could be of some concern, only 194. So I can't imagine him getting a true, 20, 25 touch workload that a lot of running backs see in the NFL. And the lack of reps could be of concern as well. Only having 235 attempts this year. But, that could be taken one of two ways. It could be looked at as, he's got fresh legs. This guy can run for a while now. Or some scouts will look at it and say that lack of experience scares me, could be too much of a risky pick. Overall, I love Brashard Smith's tape. I think he's going to be a great find. I think he's going to end up sneaking in to the third round just because of his receiving ability and his playmaking ability. The speed definitely will give him a boost as well. Number 8 overall, we have Baishul. God, I hope I'm saying that right. Baishul Tootin out of Virginia Tech, coming in at 5'9", 206, the fastest running back in the class at a 4.32 40 time. ADP of 151.3. In 2024, he had 183 attempts for 1,159 yards and 15 touchdowns. Found his way onto the second team All-ACC in 2024. I love Baishul Tootin's tape. I really do. 5'9", so he's not that big, but he's a very compact back coming in at 206. Very good speed. He can make defenders miss in the open field. Doesn't really lose a step when he's going outside at all. He can smoke linebackers to the edge and take that shit the distance, no problem. The most impressive thing about Tootin's tape, though, is his power and contact balance for his size. He finishes very strong. He is not afraid to attack and run players over. He's very aggressive, and he doesn't really play with any fear as well. He's pretty good in pass pro. He will attack penetration, no problem. Despite his 5'9" build, he is not afraid of aggression in any way, shape, or form. He's got some rough ball security issues, and just like kind of what I said with Brashard Smith, I feel like with these fast 4.3 guys, they lack patience. They're so quick. As soon as they see something, they just want to hit it. He's another guy who needs to be a little bit more patient, trust his blocks a little bit better. But with this much speed and this much power, that kind of always makes up for that. Now, as we move on to number 7, I feel like this is kind of where we're hitting a tier jump here. A lot of these guys, 7 through probably 3, you could throw in any way, shape, or form, really. This was what I had the toughest time doing 3 through 7. Any of these guys could be late second, early third round picks in my mind. So let's just get right into it with number 7, Dylan Sampson. I have him listed at 5'1" here. He is not 5'1". He is 5'8", 200 pounds with 4.4 speed, an ADP of 70. Most drafted by my Chicago Bears, the Cowboys, and the Patriots. He was the 2024 SEC Offensive Player of the Year with 1,491 yards and 22 touchdowns on 258 attempts. Just like Tootin, for his size, 5'8", 200, he's strong and compact. He is really, really good in short yardage situations. Advanced stat for you here, I have this written down. 36 attempts in situations of 2 yards or less, and he picked up 33 of them. Inside runs are really his specialty. Really special vision inside. He cuts well to avoid penetration. He's got very good instincts on inside runs. He has the 4.4 speed to kick it outside, but once he gets outside, he kind of starts to lose that vision and decisiveness that he, really plays so well on the inside. Once he gets out there, he just sometimes looks a little lost. But he's quick enough and strong enough to get big chunk yard plays when kicking it outside. So it makes up for it. He's not going to really hit your home run ball. But that's kind of just like what the NFL is, There's not many home run hitters. It's more of a 4 or 5 yards per carry. You're very happy with it. You don't really see these big 60-yard touchdown runs all the time in the NFL. His size doesn't really worry me. I'm more worried about his lack of touches and his ball security and his occasional struggle in pass pro. He's only got 466 touches, and I believe that is the lowest outside of Brashard Smith, who was, a 3-year wide receiver transfer. All 6 guys above him on this list have more touches than him. But it's similar to Brashard Smith as well. Some scouts will look at that and say, very impressive tape. He's got fresher legs. Others will worry about his lack of experience at the running back position. This one, I don't really worry about it as much. It's not like he was a wide receiver before like Smith. This guy's played the position in the SEC for 3 years. He's only 20 years old. This could be a guy who could explode in a couple seasons of development into a true 3-down back if he can focus on improving the ball security and improving in pass pro. Number 6 overall, we have Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. Now, I feel like I'm going to get a little bit of hate for that, but I'll dive deep into it soon. Coming in at 6'1", 224 with 4.57 40, ADP of 59.1, most drafted by the Bears, Cowboys, and Patriots. You're going to see the Bears, Cowboys, Patriots a lot because those are the guys who need running backs, and they have a lot of picks. Impressive accolades in his years at Iowa. In 2024, he had 240 attempts for 1,537 yards and 21 touchdowns. Great production. Second team AP All-American, 2024 Big Ten Running Back of the Year, and 2024 first team all Big Ten. I am lower on Caleb Johnson than most, and I would say really what's mainly holding him back is he is a liability in pass protection. He is very meh, which is probably going to keep him sidelined a lot on third down. And if you're aiming to draft a running back in the second round, you're probably going to want a 3-down back. I'm not saying he shouldn't go in the second round or doesn't have the talent to go in the second round, but that's my bigger concern on what's keeping him from probably my top 5. Also, for being 6'1", 224, his lack of aggression is kind of shocking. He can finish strong, and he does have the ability to break tackles, but he's more of a shifty back. And for being more of a shifty back, his athleticism really isn't off the charts. He's not slow. 4.57 is, very good for a running back, but it's not great either. That being said, he does do his main job very well, and that's running the ball. Very patient, very decisive runner, active feet, lets blocks develops. He has some burst. He's good inside. He's good outside. His vision is really off the charts. 66 forced missed tackles this season. He's second in breakaway yards. I saw this in crazy advanced stat about Caleb Johnson. We all know Iowa's running the ball. They very rarely face a light box, but when he faced a light box, I think he had like 9 yards per carry. He's not going to see as many stacked boxes in the NFL as he does in college football. So that is really something to look forward to for him. I'm still very high on Caleb Johnson. It's not like I hate him because I put him at 6. Like I said, 3 through 7 here, interchangeable. All are probably just going to go running off the board in the late second, early third. But I don't have them ahead of my 5 other guys, which you're going to find out here shortly. And that does bring us to number 5. That is going to be Quinshon Judkins out of Ohio State, coming in at 6 foot, 220 pounds with 4.48 40, an ADP of 50.4, most drafted by Bears, Cowboys, and Broncos. In 2024, he had 194 attempts for 1,060 yards, 14 touchdowns. He had 1,567 yards as a freshman at Ole Miss, and he's a 2025 college football playoff national champion. He might be my favorite size to speed ratio back here, however you want to put that. 6 foot even, 220 pounds, 4.4 speed. Welcomes aggression. No problem with it. Will run your face off. He hits holes with burst. No problem, but he's not really shifty going through the interior. He's more contact, but he's got the burst and speed to get to the second level once he sees the opening, and he's got that contact and that aggression to bounce off these arm tackles once he gets there. He doesn't really look like natural when running the football. Very active, happy feet. It's kind of weird, and I almost think it kind of causes him to lose a step when he's kicking it outside. It's not very smooth when he's kicking it outside. Like I said, I feel like he's just kind of losing that step. It's not curve. It's like jagged or kind of running when he's moving out there. But once he is out there, he's got patience and good decision making, just like he does in the interior. He's really good and really decisive all over the field, inside, outside, does not matter. He's one of those guys who's going to take his time, let his blocks develop, let his blockers come out when he's kicking it outside, getting that more yardage. And like I said, he's going to finish strong every run. He is aiming to kill somebody when he is running the ball. And he's a guy who does not shy away from pass protecting as well, just kind of like his counterpart at Travion Henderson. Both of them were very good at pass protection. Judkins just has that dog in him where he's not going to shy away from anybody, and he's going to go smack them in the mouth, whether he's got the ball in his hands or not. Number 4 overall, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get some hate for this one. Cam Skattebo out of Arizona State, coming in at 5'9", 219, 4.65 40 time with an ADP of 60.1. Most drafted by the Bears, Cowboys, and Patriots. He had 1,711 yards on 283 attempts with 21 touchdowns. AP first team All-American, first team All-Big 12, Peach Bowl offensive MVP. Brother got 4 first-place votes for the Heisman Trophy winner. He is no joke. Cam Skattebo has some of the best contact balance that I've seen. I always think about this Walter Payton quote when I see guys like Cam Skattebo. It reminds me of an old Western, a guy who just keeps getting shot, losing a limb, but he just keeps walking. That never die easy mentality that Walter Payton had, that is instilled in Cam Skattebo's mind. His patience and his contact balance are NFL ready, NFL star ready. Very sharp cuts in the backfield off penetration, breaks tackles, no problem, stays on his feet, runs people over. He's one of those backs who is going to wear down your defense. Give him the ball 20 times. He is going to be so hard to bring down. Just keep feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. And my guy had 45 receptions for 608 yards and 3 more touchdowns this year. He is very good in the passing game. My favorite thing about watching him in the receiving game is when the play would break down, he knew where to find the soft spot in coverage. It seemed like every time. It doesn't matter if he runs a 4.6 40. My guy was getting open. And that's really kind of one of my only concern about him is this 4.65 40 time. That's not really fast. He's not going to break away in the NFL. But I have no doubt that Cam Skattebo will be able to consistently pick up these large chunk 8, 12, 15-yard runs for you, no problem. And he can be used very well in the passing game. Number 3 overall, we have the other Ohio State running back, and that is Travion Henderson, coming in at 5'10", 202 pounds with 4.4 speed. ADP is 59.8, most drafted by the Bears, Cowboys, and Broncos. In 2024, he had 1,016 yards on only 144 attempts with 10 touchdowns. He was paired with Judkins. They could do that more split backfield kind of play. He was first team All Big Ten in 2023 and third team All Big Ten in 2024. And he is a college football national champion. Travion Henderson is unreal. Unreal speed on the outside. When watching his tape, it genuinely looks like he's going north to south at the exact same speed that he's going east to west. He looks like he is losing no step whatsoever when bouncing it outside. And once he's out there, he is elite in the open field. Outside of Jainty, Henderson is probably the best open field running back in this draft class. And even though he's only 5'10", 200 pounds, he doesn't really play small like that. Finishes strong through the run and is not afraid to deliver contact in any way, shape, or form. He has great ball security. He has 0 fumbles in his last 3 seasons. Like I said earlier, he is phenomenal in pass pro. He's a really good receiver. I really don't care how small you think he is. He looks like an offensive lineman when he's blocking in the backfield. He is blocking like a guard. He has no fear whatsoever of anybody coming at him. He will keep your quarterback safe. He's going to be a great check down back because of how good he is in the open field on the outside. He's going to have so much yak. Like his yak is going to be off the charts. My only worry about him is kind of his interior vision. It's not top tier. There is a lot of plays where he runs straight into the backs of his offensive linemen, but he just makes up for it, bouncing outside. And like I said before, it does not look like he is losing a step when he is bouncing it outside. So that doesn't really worry me as much because of his talent. Overall, great back. I think this guy is going to start creeping into the high second round. I could see somebody trading up into the early second round to draft TreVeyon Henderson. Number 2 overall, we have Omarion Hampton out of UNC. 6 foot flat, weighing in at 221, 4.4 40 time, ADP of 246, most drafted by the Broncos, the Bears, and the Commanders. Ran for 1,660 yards on 281 attempts this year with 15 touchdowns. 2-time second team AP All-American, 2-time first team All-ACC, back-to-back 1,500-yard seasons. Omarion Hampton probably would be the number 1 running back in a lot of draft classes, if I'm being completely honest with you. But we all know who number 1 is, and there's a reason he's not number 1. And it's unfortunate, but that's how good Ashton Jeanty is. Put up back-to-back really good seasons at UNC. Outside of Scadaboo, probably one of my favorite power runners in the draft, but he does have that 4.4 speed and elite burst. So once he hits that hole and he sees you, he is going to run you over, and it's going to hurt because he's got great burst, solid speed, and he welcomes contact. Really good balance. You know, he stays low. As I talked about in my mock draft, he's kind of the one speed back, so he doesn't really have that extra gear to him once he gets going. So I don't think in the NFL he's going to have a whole lot of breakaway runs. He's not going to, hit the home run ball at the pro level, but overall, one of the more premier running backs in this draft class. Omarion Hampton, extremely impressive. Whoever lands him is going to get an all-around really good back. Like I said, good speed, good power, good vision, and it's going to be fun to watch him run some people over this fall. And obviously, the number 1 running back in this draft class, and that is Ashton Jeanty, coming in at 5'9", 211. He did not run the 40 and has an ADP of 7.9, most drafted by the Raiders, my Bears, and the Patriots. Just look at those stats and accolades, folks. 2,600 yards on 374 attempts with 29 touchdowns. First team AP All-American. Doak Walker, a winner, which is the nation's top running back. Midwestern Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Heisman finalist. Second most rush yards in NCAA history, falling only 28 yards short of Barry Sanders' record. The one, the only, the generational Ashton Jeanty, folks. Probably one of the best running back prospects, of the last 10 years. You could probably say him, Zeke, Barkley. I'll let those 3 fight it out. Bijan, I'm giving the edge to Jeanty over Bijan. That's just me personally. I'm giving him the edge over CMC as well. But Zeke, Saquon, Jeanty, those 3 probably neck and neck in terms of when it comes to talent. I mean, I don't really need to dive into much here. Jeanty is the best running back in the draft. We all watched his highlights. We all watched him play college football all year long. He can't be taken down. Bounces off defenders. Can make a defender miss in a phone booth. Tight spaces. That does not affect him. It doesn't affect him. He can run you over. He can make you miss. He will blow right by you. Impeccable vision, has the ability to hit the home run ball. I mean, there's not much to add here. He single-handedly carried Boise State to the college football playoff. Like, that's how good he is. I haven't seen a single other person have anybody other than Ashton Jeanty as their number 1 running back in the class. Probably going to lock in a top 10 pick. And I've been talking myself into the Bears drafting him finally. So I'll be rooting for that. If not, trust me, not the end of the world, because I'm not much of a draft a running back in the first round kind of guy. Overall, those are my top 10 running backs. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another video. This Wednesday, we have the very first Bears 7-round mock draft coming out. This Friday, we got some more position group prospects to dive deep into. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.